Alright, what's going on people? Wing Roadmap here. Today we'll do a quick pre-fight analysis of Zurdo versus Bivol, an audio version. Reason why I'm doing an audio version is because I was supposed to upload the film study, but I lost the damn file, alright? I lost the video, and so I'm a little frustrated. I don't want to do it no more. I'm just gonna do an audio version instead. So today I'm gonna talk about Zurdo versus Bivol. Let's get right into it. I think Bivol is gonna win this one, and he's gonna win it convincingly. That amateur background will be a little too much, alright? And that in-and-out Russian style is gonna be a little too much for Zurdo. Now, Zurdo has a couple of advantages, don't get me wrong. Number one, he's gonna be bigger on fight night. I've heard rumors of him rehydrating up to 30 pounds in one night, in 24 hours. I've also heard rumors of him walking around much bigger than his fighting weight, so that's gonna be his advantage. He's gonna also have a bigger reach. I think he has a bigger reach, and he's taller than Bivol. So besides that, really, I don't see him overwhelming Bivol. All right, first of all, Zurdo, he cannot put his combinations together against a guy who moves. All right. Number two, he cannot use those angles against a guy who moves. How do I know? Because I use the same goddamn angles, okay? And one thing I can tell you is that these side steps, these side shifts, and these angles that Zurdo uses most of the time, it's not going to work if your opponent is moving side to side. It's not going to work if your opponent is going in and out. It's not going to work if your opponent is constantly throwing straight punches at your face, okay? So don't even think about that. Don't think that he can pull off these Lomachenko moves, these Usyk moves, because Bivol's not going to be a damn punching bag like a washed up Linares or like a Joshua, okay? It's not going to happen. And then also, that jab, he cannot establish that if his opponent is going in and out, if his opponent is constantly outside of punching range. And as you can see with Zurdo, the type of jab that he likes to throw a lot is a stiff jab, alright? He doesn't step into it, he just kind of throws it without stepping in, alright? That's not going to reach a target if you're fighting Bivol. And then another flaw that I see with Zurdo is that he stays lazy, relatively lazy, in mid-range. Why is that? Because he's so used to having opponents who are intimidated by him. He's so used to having opponents in front of him that are gun-shy. So what happens? He tends to get away with not punching whenever he's in mid-range. He tends to get away with being lazy in the mid-range. That's not going to be the same case with Bivol. Whenever you see Bivol, he's on the mid-range, he throws a jab, alright? You see Bivol in the mid-range, he's going to throw a 1-2. You see Bivol in the mid-range, he's going to put together a 5-punch combination, even though there's not a lot of crack behind it. It's going to land, alright? And I personally think Bivol is more accurate than Zurdo. I don't have the punch count to back this up, but I'm going to check it out after this recording, alright? Now let's talk about Zurdo. What can Zurdo do in order to defeat Bivol? I think Zurdo needs to stay busy in mid-range. He cannot allow himself to be lazy on the mid-range. If he stays lazy on the mid-range, he's gonna get caught with jabs all night, and then also he's gonna get caught with combinations all night. Number two, if Zurdo wants to win this one, he's gonna have to back Bivol up and possibly fight him on the inside. He cannot beat Bivol in an outside fight. He cannot beat Bivol in a boxing match, alright? And then number three, if he wants to beat Bivol, one thing that I can tell you, use that left hand, alright? Use that left hand, that left straight, and use that in order to get past the long lead hand of Bivol, that stretch out lead hand. Use it to your advantage. And then also, just be rough, You cannot beat Bivol in a boxing match. You cannot beat Bivol in a skill competition, alright? You cannot do that. Now don't get me wrong, Zurdo has skills. Zurdo has skills, but let me continue. Zurdo has skills against punching bags, alright? Believe me, I've seen a guy fight, he's great. But let's be honest, he's fighting punching bags. That Cuban that he fought, yes, that Cuban was a warrior, but he was a punching bag. The only reason he was able to pull off those moves is because he's fighting stationary opponents. The only reason why he tends to look dominant is because he's fighting opponents who are gun-shy. Why? Because he's much bigger than them. He's much bigger than them. Now, I know what you're gonna tell me. Well, Bivol fought a lighter Canelo. Bivol fought a smaller Canelo. That's true. But Bivol also fought guys his size, right? And this is gonna be a real test for Bivol in terms of just how he deals with the bigger man. Not in terms of how he deals with a skilled boxer, not in terms of how he deals with somebody of the same skill level. The only chance that Zurdo really has on this one is if he gets to use his size, and if he gets to roughen Bivol up. Personally, I don't see that happening, okay? He may catch him with a couple of good shots, but they're not going to be clean, alright? And they're not going to hurt Bivol too much. So that was it. I think Bivol's going to win this one, and Zurdo is in for a Russian schooling, alright, as he did with Canelo. And yeah, if Bivol wins, or if Zurdo wins, his only chance is to roughen him up and to use his size. Still, I don't think that's going to happen because Bivol's footwork is a little too much. He keeps his feet moving for 12 rounds and more. He can keep it moving for more than 12 rounds, in fact. And so that was it. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.